Hi everyone, Jess here, and today I'm joined with Sangita Sharma, Director of Sustainable Skies Lab at Delta Airlines. Thank you so much for joining me today, Sangita.
Thank you for having me, Jess.
No, it's a real pleasure. So soon at Aerospace Tech Week Americas, you're going to be speaking on accelerating the future of sustainable skies, and I'll be asking you what to expect from this session in just a moment. But firstly, could you explain the significance of the Sustainable Skies Lab?
Yeah, without giving too much away, because I want everyone to come to the session next Tuesday. Um, Delta has some very ambitious sustainability goals, just like the rest of the aviation industry, right? Net zero by 2050. And I think the reality is the technology to hit those goals does not exist and certainly doesn't exist at scale today. And so we launched the Sustainable Skies Lab a year ago, really to connect Delta resources. We're about to hit our 100-year anniversary next year. So 100 years of operating experience with the innovators and new thinkers and new technology out across industry to develop and scale technology that we can actually operate safely, reliably, comfortably. Um, and so the Sustainable Skies Lab over the past year, we've started to build out a portfolio of partnerships, um, covering everything from ground processes that save us, a few hundred pounds of fuel per trip to starting conversations with aircraft manufacturers on what the next generation of technology could look and feel like.
Fantastic, and that's such important work as well. And like you said, you're working with these sort of new agile thinkers. What are some of the most disruptive sustainability innovations you're seeing at the moment?
I think there's so much to choose from, honestly. Everything from um, ground equipment that could let you taxi without the use of your main engines, which again is hundreds of pounds of fuel per flight, to some of the OEMs are playing with the shape of the aircraft itself. And if you think about what commercial aviation looks and feels like for a Delta customer, really any customer, it's looked and felt the same for decades upon decades. And it's exciting to think that, 2030 and beyond, the shape of the aircraft itself could be different, could lend itself to a different customer experience and a sustainable experience.
Absolutely, there's so much potential, and as we're seeing more and more investment in these areas, it's really interesting to see how quickly these various initiatives are changing shape. And one of the things we've noticed is that there are, of course, very diverging opinions on exactly how the industry is going to make the shift towards a more sustainable future. But for the most part, people tend to agree there's not going to be one golden bullet that sort of captures everything. It's going to take a myriad of approaches. What do you see as some of the more immediate solutions, and what do you think of is going to be more of the sort of long-term investment potential?
That's a great question. I think a myriad of solutions, a myriad of stakeholders are going to be needed to get us across this finish line. But I think the good news is people are moving and people are moving fast. And when it comes to short-term innovation, I think at Delta, we're taking a good hard look at our internal processes. How do we operate our aircraft today? And are there ways to make it more fuel efficient? I think even something as simple as slowing down a minute or two, if we know that we're going to arrive at the destination early, has tremendous potential to increase our fuel efficiency. And it's something that we're looking at. And then conversely, long term, right? Sustainable aviation fuel is a really important lever that is going to take a lot of collaboration. It's going to take a lot of funding. But it's something that has a lot of promise. And so we established a Minnesota SAF coalition earlier this year to bring some of those stakeholders together, to understand what will it take to bring sustainable fuel to the Midwest.
Fantastic. Those are some really interesting conversations. And you mentioned at the start you don't want to give too much away. But apart from your session, what else are you looking forward to at Aerospace Tech Week Americas?
I'm excited to meet everyone there in person. I'm excited to learn about some of the new technologies on the horizon. Aerospace Tech Week is going to have kind of a startup showcase at one point. I'm excited to meet all of those groups and see where there might be potential lab collaboration.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me today to share your insights.
No, thank you again. And I look forward to seeing you and your team and everyone else next week.